Hi, I'm Tony, and today I'm asking myself questions submitted on Discord. I'll read them. I'll answer them. Let's fucking go. A little background before we get into it. You started out making music reaction videos, nobody watched, until you reacted to Stray Kids, a K-pop group. Now you're still making reactions, and occasionally you create original, unfunny videos too. Question number one. As a serious fan of both the band Tool and K-pop music, I imagine one moment you're lecturing people on the Fibonacci sequence, the next you're arguing on Twitter about Spotify's global streaming leaderboard. Do you ever take a day off from being an insufferable prick? Um, how many questions was that? Moving on. What did you do before posting videos on YouTube, or has wasting time on the internet always been your full time job? I work in e commerce, so websites and apps. I've been a product manager, done A B testing, digital analytics, marketing, web, and graphic design. What made you decide to start posting on YouTube? A deep artistic calling or just inflated sense of self importance? Um, Both, I suppose. I got laid off twice in 9 months, and I wanted to take some time off and figure out what to do next, career wise. And I just needed a creative outlet, so I just decided to try YouTube. How did you get into making reaction videos? The laziest type of content, besides filming your dog, obviously. Oh, you do that too. That's neat. Well, I had all the gear, laptop, microphone, headphones. I bought all that stuff due to COVID and working from home. And then through my career in kind of design and digital marketing, I just knew the basics and the software. So basically, I had everything I needed to actually make a video, except talent. I started with reactions, yeah, but and they are easy to make. And I was just hoping that commenters would suggest new music for me to hear because I was kind of in a rut listening to the same stuff over and over. But I did that with the intent of eventually making original videos that I hoped would make people laugh. With you or at you? Never mind. What got you interested in music analysis? I really like knowing how it goes from idea to finished product, kind of how that decision process happens, like who gets the final say and all of that has always been interesting to me. Do you enjoy the process of creating YouTube videos outside of listening to the music? If so, what's your favorite part about it? I love all of it because of the variety. So yeah, some days I just record, some days I do editing, some days I have to learn a certain trick or little addition to a piece of software I already know in order to complete the video. So it's different each day and each week, and so I like that. I need that variety. Did you ever expect your channel to get so much traction? And did you ever plan on making a Discord server? No, not at all. Neither one. The community, really the comments on YouTube and the Discord are the most surprising and most rewarding part of this. So the community, like the comments and stuff on the videos, they suggest a lot of really great music that I've now found and like and would not have heard of otherwise. It really is a community, not just on the comments, but then in Discord, it just turned into a group of really cool people with a lot of shared interests. And they actually like each other and have become friends even in real life, which is mind blowing to me that this was all kind of an accident. If you could go back a couple of months and restart your YouTube journey, would you do anything differently? I wouldn't change anything. It's been so much fun, so exciting already that I bet if I went back and changed anything, it would probably have been it might have been a mistake because maybe it wouldn't have turned out as well as it has. So no, I wouldn't change anything. Will you ever schedule repeating events on the channel like a weekly live stream or specific type of reaction vid so there's always something viewers can look forward to? I'm open to scheduled YouTube live events. I just started Cozy Gaming, and that might be the first scheduled and like recurring live event. Reactions and the original videos, those I probably wouldn't schedule because I like to wait until I actually feel like I really want to do those. That's why they're kind of sporadic versus saying, oh, it's Tuesday, I have to post a reaction. Let me just go pick some song from the list or some album and just do it to kind of get it over with. So I don't ever want to get into that situation. So that's why I think a recurring event is probably be something like gaming, which is something I probably always like am in the mood to do, so I could easily schedule that. Do you only want recommendations for music that fans think you would like? And if you did not like it but recorded a reaction, would you even post that video? Yes, I'll take all the suggestions and I'll listen to it. Even if I don't like it, I think I still appreciate the exposure to new sounds and new artists. I like that part of it. If I really didn't like a full album, assuming I'm doing an album, and I didn't like any of it, I don't know that I would post the video. I mean, I'm on the fence. I mean, luckily it hasn't happened yet, so I haven't run into that. I'm not sure, I guess. Out of all the music you've reacted to so far, which artists and songs have you resonated with the most? And what about non audio content? What do you want to see more of, not just from a specific group, but specific qualities you've liked? Well, for me, the two groups I would say are Stray Kids and ATs. Those are my two favorites. Non audio content, XG's music videos for Woke Up and Howling, I think, stand out. I haven't watched a ton of music videos, not just K pop, but like in general, I don't watch a lot of music videos. But those two are really incredible, I think. I would like to have more that's like funny, I guess. So, for example, the Skizoo version of Thunderous, that video, if there were more music videos like that, I would probably watch them. As far as the types that I would really want to hear more of is more of aggressive type songs, obviously. I mean, for me, rock kind of background. The one that comes to mind is XG's Woke Up. I think that vibe they had in that track would be awesome. So if there's more music like that, I think there's a very high chance that I would really like it. What started your passion for music? Probably a teacher I had in grade school. We had Mrs. Strickland. She had this class. It was called music, but it was a lot more than that. We did a lot of creative stuff. She played guitar. We would sing songs. We would play with different instruments, and we wrote skits and did like little acting things, and we put on a performance at the end of the year when you're in 7th and 8th grade. She introduced us to like these classic rock bands like Queen, and I think that's probably where it started. I realized how fun that was, just music in general, and writing. I mean, you weren't like sitting down with a pen in 7th grade and like writing a script. It was more like improv. In fact, that's what they called it, was or the show at the end of the year for 7th and 8th graders called the improv show. I think a lot of it could be traced back to that class and Mrs. Strickland. Do you sing, play instruments, or make music? I don't sing. I can't read music. I don't play any instruments. I don't produce music. I'm just a fan. Have you ever considered making music of your own? I've purchased some software to make music, so Apple Logic and Ableton Live. I've purchased those forever ago. I've occasionally every few years I kind of go back to them and try to just play around, but I never put enough time in to actually learn how to make a song or whatever. I know the basics, the very very basics, which I use um, to make my song about YouTube memberships. But that's it. That was the extent of my knowledge. What music do you remember listening to as a kid, teenager, etc., that led you to the music you love today? The music I listened to probably in grade school, the bands that I really liked and probably owned cassette tapes. Maybe I think this is probably cassette tapes. Were U2. I remember I listened to the Joshua Tree album a ton. I loved the Octung Baby album. Even before that, I was into In Excess. The Kick album, Listen Like Thieves were really good. And probably Beastie Boys I listened to a lot. And then in high school, I turned to more like rock stuff. So Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots. After high school, I got into more electronic music. John Digweed, Paul Oakenfold were kind of my introduction into electronic stuff. And then after that, EDM, eventually you go from like Pendulum to Skrillex and The Prodigy, all that kind of stuff. Can you tell us about your relationship with music as a whole? I appreciate the way you navigate the music we share with you, and I'm curious if you feel like the way you experience music is different from others. Follow up, why do you dislike and avoid lyrics? Instead of relationship with music, I just have a relationship with sound in general. So I hate anything that annoys me, like sounds like motorcycles and people chewing with their mouth open. Drives me nuts. But I also love listening, like even to nothing. So sound is potent for me, either positively or negatively. And music, in that case, certain music for me, obviously, the type of music that I enjoy is very positive, like potency wise. And so it can put me in a good mood. It can help me get work done. It can help me with working out. It can help me with, yeah, focus. I mean, anything. So I think it's just essential for me. Lyrics. It's not that I dislike lyrics. It's that the first time I listen to a song, I view the voice as an instrument, and so I'm listening for the voices to how they are intertwined with the other instruments. I'm not listening to the words or the story or what's said. I'm listening to how are the lyrics delivered and does it match the tone of the song? Do you have a favorite live concert you attended? What was it and why was it so great? The one that stands out is Ludovico Einaudi at Symphony Hall in San Francisco. That was because the sound quality was incredible. Now, obviously, that's probably because it was in a symphony hall, so it was a place made for music. And I feel like I didn't breathe. Just his music is so good. I love it so much. Again, instrumental, and it was just overwhelming my ears. Was frozen in my seat. Just couldn't handle how good it sounded. What is your favorite album and song of all time and why? My favorite album is Tool 10,000 Days. It's an extraordinary album. Everything about it, creativity, musicianship, the timeless lyrics, talking about human nature, and it's very personal, especially one, which leads into the second part of that is my favorite song of all time is on that album. So it's 10,000 Days or Wings Part 1 and Part 2. And it's because of the way that song is constructed, the huge build. It's technically two songs. So Part 1 is basically the intro. It's hard to put into words. It's so complex. The music, the instruments are so fantastic. The lyrics, along with the way the lyrics are delivered, and the instrumentation all work together and like climax at this like huge part at the end, and then the kind of the backside ending the song is just mind blowing, and so I guess depending on how you look at it, heartbreaking. That's a song that typically makes everybody cry the first time they hear it, especially if they do have the lyrics up. And the lyrics in that one are pretty easy to follow, even if you don't have them up. I think that one is not just like it's probably my favorite song of all time, but I think it's one of the best songs ever recorded. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. How did you discover the band Tool? On the radio. Radio is the first time I heard them. Rock stations played them a little bit, a few of their songs, but I wasn't super into them at the time. I had a few friends that were into Tool. I resisted for a long time, but then I heard Schism on the radio, and that was it. That was the song that hooked me. And after I heard that, I thought I should listen to more of this. And so that was it. Then I started listening to more and more of their stuff, and I've been a fan ever since that song came out. What bands do you enjoy other than Tool? If you're gonna pick a band, as in like a band, guitars and drums and a singer, yeah, Black Keys is probably the top of the list right now. But my favorites for sure are, I mean, in addition to Tool, are Led Zeppelin. Still listen to Journey, Metallica, Rage Against the Machine, and then some older stuff, Van Halen, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. Ever since I discovered Stray Kids, my biggest wish is to pick Chan's brain. If you had the chance, what would you talk to him about? What would you ask? What are you most curious about? The process to create a song. So does it start with a topic or a feeling? Does he start with finding sounds on that famous laptop, or does it start with lyrics? And then just describe the entire thing, like from the idea until it's completely done. If you could have three Racha, the three members of Stray Kids who produced the songs, explain the thought process behind any of their songs, which one would you pick and why? I would pick the song Sick. I really like that song. It sounds great, and from what I understand so far, now I've read the English part of the lyrics. I haven't gone into the translation, but there's a lot of people who have left comments about the song saying it's about self-doubt, imposter syndrome, which is something that I experience constantly. I mean, I think most people do to some extent, but I think in my case it can be debilitating at some times. And so I'd be curious to hear all about that, how it started and just what how they experience it, and maybe even if they got any tips to get over it. What preconceptions or prejudices did you have about K-pop, if any? I made a whole video about this. I thought that K-pop music would sound like American pop. That was number one. That was what I was most worried about. So when I did the first Stray Kids reaction, I thought, "There's no way I'm gonna like this," but I was wrong, and so glad I was wrong. What are your current favorite TV shows? Genres? Would you ever consider K-drama now that you've gotten into a bit of K-pop? My favorite show is Slow Horses. That's top. Number two right now is Shrinking. Both of those are on Apple TV. But would I try K-drama? I don't know anything about it. I wouldn't know where to begin. I don't. I'm open to it, yeah, but I don't even know where I would start. How did you get Ollie, and what breed is he? Ollie was a stray dog, so I don't actually know what breed or breeds he is. I mean, he's for sure some kind of mix. We think he looks like a Maltese and a poodle mix, which is like a Maltipoo, but don't know for sure. All I know is his hair grows really fast, so we have to get it cut all the time, and he barks constantly. So whatever mix he is, I think it's like 10 of the most barking dogs, and that's probably what he is. I've noticed several neurodivergent people in the Music First Discord. I was curious if you are as well. I've never had anyone or any doctor suggest that I may be, so I haven't ever investigated. I don't know. So now that your YouTube fame has convinced you that you're destined for something bigger, what's next? Acting, boxing, or hamburgers? My money's on unemployed. Whatever it is, I assume it involves way more confidence than actual talent. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.